In our daily life, we buy goods from the shopkeepers. They buy either directly from the manufacturers or through the wholesalers. The shopkeepers sell goods for a profit, sometimes for a loss. Example, the cost price of the sari is rupees 3000. Selling price is rupees 3500. Here, the selling price is more than the cost price. Then it will be a profit for the seller. If the cost price is more than the selling price, it will be a loss for the seller. Percentage. It is a fraction with denominator 100. It is represented by the given symbol. Application of percentage. There are 75 mangoes, out of which 3 are rotten. Let us find the percentage of good mangoes. Total number of mangoes is equal to 75. Number of rotten mangoes is equal to 3. Therefore, number of good mangoes is equal to 72. Percentage of good mangoes is equal to number of good mangoes by total number of mangoes into 100, which is equal to 72 by 75 into 100. By simplifying, we get the percentage of good mangoes as 96. Discount. In order to increase the sale and also to clear the stocks during festival seasons, the shopkeepers offer a certain percentage of rebates on the marked price, which is known as discount. Marked price. In big shops and departmental stores, we see that every product is tagged with a card with a price written on it. That price is called the marked price. Based on the marked price, the discount is given. Therefore, selling price will be equal to marked price minus discount. Overhead expenses. Sometimes articles like machinery, furniture, electronic items are bought. Some expenses on repairs, transportation, and labor charges are charged. These expenses are included in the cost price and are called overhead expenses. Therefore, the total cost price will be cost price plus overhead expenses. GST, that is Goods and Services Tax. It is one of the source of income to the government. The GST is shared by the central and state governments equally. These are some of the products which are exempted from GST. Products like petrol, diesel, etc. do not come under GST. They are taxed separately. Simple interest and compound interest. In simple interest, principal remains the same for the whole duration. In compound interest, principal changes as per the conversion period. Simple interest and compound interest is the same for the first conversion period. Let us find the compound interest and simple interest for a principal of rupees 10,000 for a period of 2 years at the rate of interest as 10% per annum. Simple interest for 2 years. Simple interest is given by the formula PNR by 100, which is equal to 10,000 into 2 into 10 by 100. By simplifying, we get the simple interest for 2 years as rupees 2,000. Compound interest for the first year. Compound interest is equal to amount minus principal. Amount is given by P into 1 plus R by 100 the whole power n. That is equal to 10,000 into 1 plus 10 by 100 the whole power 1. That is equal to 10,000 into 110 by 100. By simplifying, we get the amount for the first year as rupees 11,000. Compound interest is equal to 11,000 minus 10,000. That is equal to rupees 1,000. The compound interest for the second year. Here, the amount of the first year will be the principal for the second year. Therefore, P is equal to 11,000. Amount is equal to 11,000 into 1 plus 10 by 100. That is equal to 11,000 into 110 by 100. By simplifying, we get the amount for the second year as rupees 12,100. Now, the compound interest for the second year is rupees 12,100 minus 11,000. That is rupees 1,100. We can understand that the compound interest is more than the simple interest for the same principal and period of time because the principal keeps on changing for every time period.